Put the hip shit on the shelf, cause the way the real wealth is being real with self. My eyes can see the glory of the coming of the left. I can't do it by myself, so I'm asking for help. It's time to switch it up. Put the hip shit on the shelf, cause the way the real wealth is being real with self. My eyes can see the glory of the coming of the left. I can't do it by myself.
Like Kanye West said, having money is not everything. Not having it is. Don't do the work every day, big things, and God gives us the ability to create wealth. It's the love of money that you know what, money so much, why you want to get up and go to work? Yeah, I'm just trying to be like people money. Now, your host for Talking Money in the Morning, financial mentor to the working class,
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to Talking Money in the Morning Live. I am your main man, H. Cortez, the one and only financial health mentor to the working class, where I do my very best to bring practical, proven wealth-building strategies to working men and women all across this great nation of ours. Thank you for tuning in to the show this morning. If you're tracking us on Periscope, then do me a favor, hit the little man in the corner so you can subscribe to the show and get the news feeds and share it with your friends, tweet it out to your followers and all of that good stuff on Periscope. If you're tracking with us on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you stay in the loop, not just for this show, but I'm always putting good information on the YouTube channel to teach you the strategies to overcome financial challenges and build wealth. And then if you're tracking us on Facebook, make sure you go to Financial Health Mentor fan page on Facebook so that you can like the page and stay engaged there. There's always good posts and good wisdom on how to create wealth and abundance for yourself. Also, be sure, if you want to engage with the show, to go over to the Financial Health Mentor Twitter feed. You can tweet me at Cortez Springer. I'm going to bring up the Financial Health Mentor Twitter feed now so that if you guys got questions or comments throughout the show, just tweet me again at Cortez Springer. This morning, we're going to talk about the ultimate cheat code for the money game. Again, we're talking about every game has a cheat code, and the money game is no different. So we're going to talk about the cheat code to the money game. But before we do that, let me get into our sponsors for today's show. It is the National Educational Credit Services and National Credit Educational Services. So you can learn more about them at credit.financialhealthmentor.com. Basically, they provide restoration of your credit. They provide the education for you to do it yourself. And they also provide the service that if you just pay a one-time flat fee, they'll go ahead and take care of that for you. Also, today's show is brought to you by the Cash Flow Manager. The Cash Flow Manager is the tool that you should have in your pocket if you're an entrepreneur, because it helps you keep track of your business expenses. It also helps you keep track of personal expenses, and you can also create your personal net worth statements, profit and loss statements, income statements, and things of that nature so that you can track your business. As always, let me let you know who today's show is for. This show is for my risers and grinders this morning. If you got up this morning with legacy on your brain and you are trying to build a legacy for you and your family, this show is for you. If you went to sleep last night visualizing what you're going to look like a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, and you see wealth and abundance in your future, this show is for you. If you know good and doggone well that you are going to hit your financial goals, you're just looking for tips, strategies, and a game plan to help you get there, my friend, this show is for you. Now, who is the show not for, right? This show is not for you if you have one of those strange relationships with money where you can't make up your mind whether you want it or not. You say that wealthy people are snobs. Money can't buy happiness, but you get up and go to work for it every day. You don't understand that money is a resource, and there's nothing wrong with having an abundance of resources so that you can do an abundance of things in your life. Then this show is not for you. If you're the type of person sitting back watching the elections closely because you want to know if Donald Trump is going to win or Hillary is going to win because you're waiting on them to fix the economy instead of working on your economy, this show is not for you. You can tune out right now, because if you have weird relationships with money, you will always repel money away from you, and instead of attracting it to you. So understand that about the money game. Now, I have absolutely no problem with you not wanting to be wealthy. That's on you. That's on your children. That's on your grandchildren, right? What I do have a problem with is you having a problem with me wanting to be wealthy, right? So let's not go there. If you don't want to be wealthy, that's cool, but don't judge me for aspiring to be the next billionaire. All right, so you can tune us out right now, because this show is not for you. So guys, we're talking about the ultimate cheat code for the money game. I don't care what game that you play. Now, I'm gonna give my my age here. I grew up, and the first game systems that were introduced to me was the Atari 2600, right? Then you had ColecoVision, and then you started getting into the Sega games and Nintendo and things of that nature. But I don't care what you were doing or what game you were playing on those systems, every game had a code. And the money game is no different. I remember playing Mario coming up, Super Mario Brothers. I don't know what the game is about, but the Mario Brothers were plumbers. So you would be going through these pipes and advancing in levels, but as you're going through these pipes, you're I guess because it's sewage, you're having to deal with different critters and things of that nature. But at one part of the game, I think it was stage 3.1 or 3.2, you could actually get to a place where you can manipulate the game in a way that you can literally get hundreds of extra men. And all that means is that the game will start out giving you 3 men. You lose those 3, your game is over. They give you 6 men, you lose those 6, and your game was over. Well, you can get to this board and find this little mechanism that would literally get you hundreds of men, and so therefore you play forever. And then there was the kind of game that you can always go back to previous boards. So even if you played and you couldn't beat the game with those 100 men, you got down to your last 5 or 6, you go back to that board and get you 100 more. So we're talking about the ultimate cheat codes for the money game. Just like in Super Mario Brothers, there's a cheat code to help you get all of those men. There's also another cheat board that help you skip to different phases in the game. So they call it warping. So you could warp from the 4th stage all the way to the 8th stage. And literally, you're right there on the last stage to beat the whole game, and you skip stages 5, 6, and 7, right? So we're talking about ultimate cheat codes for the money game, because I don't know if you were like me, but at 40 years old, 41 years old, when I first really dove into what it takes to become wealthy and partner with some wealth strategists and some financial mentors, I had very little in a 401k plan. I wasn't doing anything to make any extra money in a significant fashion. So I was literally behind the 8 ball. So you talk about somebody in desperate need of a cheat code, not to get ahead, but to simply catch up. Because if you have, you were been investing, you know, from the time that you started working at 20, 21 years old or whatever it was, maybe you started as a teenager at McDonald's or the local fast food joint, and you understood investing. By the time you hit 40, if you did it right, you have $500,000 in an investment account, right? And that $500,000 would pay you out roughly $40,000 to $50,000 a year just on the interest alone, right? So I was nowhere near that place, so I needed some cheat codes to catch up. But then I started to study wealthy people, high net worth earners, right? Not rich people, wealthy people. What's the difference? Rich people or riches are measured by dollars, and anybody can have an abundance of dollars at one time, and that will make them rich. So if I hit the lottery today and all of a sudden I have $4, $5, $6 million at my disposal because I've hit the lottery, I have instantly become rich, right? But does that make me wealthy? No, wealth is measured in time, and it's also in it's a depiction of how you earn your income or where your money is coming from in the various sources. Because I can win the lottery and hit that $5-6 million, and I can run through it. And because I had acquired it by hitting the lottery, in order for me to get that money again, what would I have to do? I have to hit the lottery again, right? But wealth, on the other hand, it's a depiction of how you earn your money. Most wealthy people earn their money through non-wage income sources like investing, like owning business systems, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, things that will appreciate in value. They understand the importance of ownership. So if you're writing notes down, one of the cheat codes for the money game is ownership. You have to get to a place where you start owning and not renting or leasing. And you have to break the habit of owning junk, man. All right. That flat screen TV is nice and it's a good accessory. You can watch a good picture. You can create nice family memories and things of that nature. If you have movie nights in the house and all of that. But that thing has depreciated 50% in value as soon as you left out of the store with it. Right? So you can also own art, for instance, what things that are going to appreciate in value, right? So you have to understand the difference between owning assets and liability. So one of the cheat codes is ownership. You have to get to a place where you are owning things and things that will appreciate in value and not decline in value. So if you're just tuning into the show, I am Ace Cortez, financial health mentor to the working class, wealth strategist, entrepreneur, author, father, husband, son, brother, nephew, cousin, all those good things, man. But I love talking and teaching on the principles of money. So today we're talking about the ultimate cheat code to the money game. One of those cheat codes is ownership. When you get to the place where you can own things that appreciate in value, then you could definitely, my friend, start putting yourself in a better position to win the game of money. All right. Now, the second major cheat code, and we'll probably end with this one and stick on this one for a good while. But if you understand anything about the money game, you have to first understand the authors of the game, the rules of the game, then you can start playing the game to win. So who authored the money game? The author of the money game are wealthy individuals, right? These were business owners, entrepreneurs. So they authored the money game. If you understand or get into the head of the person who authored the game, then you can understand the motive behind the game, and you can get an inside track, a cheat code, so to speak, into playing the game and playing it at a higher level so that you can ultimately win the game. And what they put together was they put two sets of rules together when it comes to the money game, because they know that there's two sets of people on the planet. It's those who are laborer and those who hire the laborers, right? So those who labor and those who hire the laborers. So the two sets of rules are this. As an employee, there is one set of rules that you are affected by and that you are governed by. And then as a business owner or an employer or an investor, there is a second set of rules that you are governed by, that you are allowed to play by. And as a result, it allows you to own more. It allows you to hire more. It allows you to expand more. It allows you a better situation so that you can win at the game of money. So the ultimate cheat code, in my opinion, to the money game is to get on the right side of the game, right? America, we live in a capitalist society. So capitalism rules in America. Now, a lot of people will say that maybe that's not the economic system that we should be governed by or we should be participating in, but I'm not here to make that call. All I know is that it exists. Capitalism is not good, it's not bad. Capitalism is a tool, and what determines whether a tool is good or bad is the person wielding the tool. So yes, a hammer is a tool, and I can build you a mansion with that hammer, or I can crack you upside your head with that hammer. So what makes the hammer good or evil? It is the person using that tool, and capitalism is no different. So in order for you to win at the money game, you have to get on the right side of capitalism, right? My simple definition of capitalism is this: those who know capitalize on those who don't know, right? So when I say it's not a good thing, it's not a bad thing, it's just a tool. You think about someone like a family who runs a dry cleaners, right? Now, the people who run that dry cleaners, they know something about removing stains that the general public do not know. They know something about pressing out wrinkles that the general public do not know. So does that make them bad because they capitalize on what they know and they charge the people who don't know that for that service? No, it's a tool. Whoever is using the tool dictates and determines whether that tool is good or bad. So the dry cleaner knows something that I don't know, so I pay them for a service because of what I don't know. Those who know capitalize on those who don't know, right? Your real estate agent knows a little bit about contracting to purchase and sell homes that you do not know. So when you go to your real estate agent, you pay them to list your home, or you pay them to find your home to purchase, because they know the laws around buying and selling a home. They're capitalizing on what they know, and they're charging you for what you don't know. Is the real estate agent bad? No, it's a tool. Whoever's using the tool dictates and determines whether that tool is bad or not. So your name, the name of the game for you, if you want to exercise this cheat code, Periscope, you have to get on the right side of capitalism, where you get to a position where you know something and you're able to capitalize on what you know. Basically, sell your knowledge. That's all we're talking about here. And there's nothing wrong with that. So if you have a problem with capitalism, then maybe you need to understand what the true definition of capitalism actually is. And most people who have a problem with capitalism are on the wrong side of capitalism. And that's why they have such a big problem with it. So I'm always of the opinion that, hey, I'm not trying to change the rules. I'm not trying to get around the rules. I'm not trying to make sure that the rules don't apply to me. I'm trying to learn the rules and learn them extremely well so that I can play the game to win. So how do you get on the other side of capitalism? You have to become like the people who authored the game in the first place. Who again authored the game? The investors, business owners, entrepreneurs. So in order to win at this game, then you have to become one so that you can play by the same set of rules that they play by. We all know that entrepreneurs have a lot of tax loopholes when it comes to dealing with the tax code in America. We also know, as an employee, your number one expense is taxes. So if you don't have a way to overcome taxes, your number one expense, you're always going to find yourself struggling financially. What's the number one way to overcome taxes? Is to literally get off the sideline and get in the game and start playing as an entrepreneur or a business owner. Now, each and every one of us were given some sort of gift, talent, or attribute that we could use to bring value to the marketplace. Problem is, we're stuck where we are and we don't want to step outside of our comfort zone. And if you're not willing to step out of your comfort zone, you're not going to grow. I can promise you this, promise you that. There is a tremendous amount of safety. There's a tremendous amount of security. And of course, there is comfort in your comfort zone. That's why it's called a comfort zone. But here's the problem with your comfort zone. Nothing ever grows there. Because how does the body grow? How do you grow? You grow by stretching, right? But when you get comfortable, you no longer stretch yourself, then you're not growing. So you have to step out of that comfort zone, figure out what your gifts, talents, and your special attributes are that would allow you to bring value to the marketplace. And then you go and you set up a business so that you can take advantage of the 475 tax deductions available to business owners and self-employed people. Why is that significant? because as an employee, the money game is set up this way. Employees bring the least amount to the table. As a result, they pay the most in taxes. Let me say it again. An employee, you're bringing the least amount to the economic table in the grand scheme of things, so you pay the most in taxes, right? A business owner is bringing a little bit more to the table because as businesses expand, what do they bring to the table? They bring more employees. The more employees you bring to the table, the more the system could tax and create revenue off those employees. Because of that, the system will give you more and more tax breaks so you can expand your business, expand your inventory, expand your infrastructure so that your business continues to grow. You hire more and more employees. The more employees you hire, the more people that the system can tax. Again, the people that are working are bringing the least to the table so they don't get any tax advantages, right? What are your tax advantages as an employee? Your children, right? Why do you think you get a tax break for your children? Because your children will ultimately grow up to get a job. And that's more people for the system to tax. Now, we can talk about how the government leverages every human being in the country because we're in debt so much, and they're taking out loans against our future labor. So that's why you get a tax break for having children. But that's a conversation for another day. Just understand this. If you're in the W-2 system where you're working a job for someone else, you will pay the most in taxes. 28 to 33% of your income is taxed right off the bat before you even get any of your money. Then you turn around and look at real estate tax, gas tax, school tax, personal property tax. You're taxed out the wazoo. So the amount that you actually pay in taxes in overall is probably about 50 to 60% of your income. So you go to work each and every day and you're taxed 60% of your income and you're trying to live off 40%. Because you're taxed 60% of your income, you go and finance a lot of your lifestyle. You go get a car note, you go get furniture loans, you go get a mortgage. So now you're trying to live and pay off your debts with just 40% of the income that you're earning from your labor. That's why you're losing in the money game. That's why the ultimate cheat code to the money game is for you, my friend, to become an entrepreneur, to go into business for yourself. If you missed yesterday's show, I had Rashawn Lawhorn on from Rich Minded, and he talks a great deal about building a business and a brand and how you can start a business for 99 cents, guys. So check out yesterday's episode so you can understand what he means by that. But when you start a business, you put yourself on the right side of capitalism, on the side where the winners are more likely to pop out than they are if you are on the employee side. All right. So we talked about how the system is set up. Employees bring the least to the table, so they're taxed the most. Business owners bring a little bit more to the table because what do they primarily bring? They bring employees to the table. As they grow, they hire more employees and that sort of thing. And then you have the investor, which is taxed the least because what does the investor bring to the table? The investor brings the finances and the money to the table. So where does a business owner go when they want to expand their infrastructure and expand their inventory, right? They go to the investors to get the capital to do so. So because the investors provide the capital for the businesses to grow, the investors are taxed the least. So when you're making money with money, you're taxed 15% or less. Then you add to the fact that you can have a business of providing that capital, then you can even make that 15% disappear completely or significantly reduce it through having a business of financing other people. So the game gets sweet, guys, when you really learn how to play this thing and you really understand the rules and how to get on the right side of the capital. So you're talking about your investor provides the capital for the businesses to grow and expand, and that allows the businesses to hire more employees. The more employees the businesses hire, the more tax breaks that they get, so that the system has more and more people to extract an income tax from. So getting yourself on the right side of capitalism, getting yourself to from employee to business owner is definitely the major cheat code to the money game. And then ultimately you want to get to become an investor, because that is the cheat code of all cheat codes, because money is taxed the least when you're making money in this particular economy that we're in. So don't fight the rules. Don't try to change the rules. Don't wait for the next elected president to see what they're going to do about the economy, about the rules. I can promise you this. Whoever is elected, they're not going to change the fact that all of the tax breaks are going to business owners and investors. They're not going to change that. You know why? Because Hillary is a business person, first and foremost, before she's a politician. Go look up all of the stuff that the Clintons own. They're business owners. We know that Trump is a business owner. He's not going to get into office and then change the laws that's going to cause his businesses to crumble. Guys, think about it. Right? That's one thing that's not going to change. I don't care what they're promising you. I promise you this. They're not going to change the business laws where the business benefits from the tax code and the tax advantages the way they're set up, because all of those politicians are business people. All of them. When you get to the Washington, D.C. level, they're all business people. Now, your grassroots, some of those are just employees volunteering, but I promise you this, at the higher level, all politicians are business owners. So they're not going to go and change the tax code. So what you should do is, instead of fighting to complain and have the rules change, learn the rules, start playing by the rules, get on the right side of capitalism, get yourself into a business of your own so that you can have the tax code open up to you, so you can start finally playing the game to win. I'm telling you, the business owners have the advantage. I like to say it like this: the game is rigged, but at the same time, it's fair. Now, how can something be rigged and fair at the same time? It is definitely rigged because all of the tax deductions, the tax benefits are heavily attributed to business owners and investors. Well, how is it fair? It's fair because anybody in America can have their own business and become an investor, right? Anybody. You can have a business today if you wanted to start a business today, and the tax code is opened up to you today. You start getting tax breaks and tax advantages instantly the day that you start your business, right? So understand that it's rigged because all of the benefits are given to business owners and investors. It's fair because anybody can become a business owner and investor here in America. So if you're not willing to find out how to get on the right side of capitalism, then I don't think it's fair for you to sit back and always complain about this capitalistic society. There is nothing hidden about who's making all the money, who has the lifestyles that we all want to live, and who's living a life of abundance. And it's the business owners and the investors. So if you don't have common sense to start studying what it is that they're doing and how they're able to achieve some of the things that you want to accomplish in your life, then that's on you, my friend. All right. But you're here watching a show like this is because you understand that there is some things that you don't know about this money game, and you're trying to get that figured out. So I applaud you for being here, but understand this: the ultimate cheat code to the money game is to actually play it like the authors of the money game. And the authors of the money game are business owners and investors. That's why the tax code is set up to benefit business owners, because it was written for business owners by business owners, and business owners are the ones who take full advantage of it. So guys, we are at the bottom of the hour. I want to give a shout out to my sponsor again, National Credit Educational Services. You can go to credit.financialhealthmentor.com to learn more about their restoration education, which will help you restore your credit on your own, or you can also pay them a flat fee and they will do it for you. Other sponsor for today's show is the Cash Flow Manager. Cash Flow Manager is a tool that every entrepreneur should have in their toolkit, and it basically allows you to track your business deductions on a fly. So if I go out to eat for lunch and I'm talking business, and if I'm networking while I'm there, then that lunch becomes tax deductible. So I have a system on my phone that allows me to keep track of that. So if you want more information on that, go to cashflow.com www.financialhealthmentor.com. You can get a free 7-day trial, play around with the software to see what it is like and see if it's something that can help you and your business take track of your deduction. So, and then also, last but not least, if I'm looking for about 7 to 10 business-minded people who love finances. If you're the person that everybody comes to on your job to talk about finances and how money works and that sort of thing, and you want to start getting paid for that knowledge, then I want you to go to financialhealthmentor.com, put in your best email address, and I want to send you some information on how you can partner with me in your own financial education franchise, and I will help you build your brand. I will help you set up your website, your fan page, all of that good stuff, so that you can start building a brand in the financial education space. We need more people teaching these practical proven strategies throughout the country, so that the financial IQ can be lifted in this country, so that we can close the wealth gap. That's the crusade that I'm on. So I'm looking for about 7 to 10 other franchises or franchisees to set up their franchises around the country and start doing some of the things that I'm doing. So if that's you, go to financialhealthmentor.com, put in your best email address, I'll get you some information. So guys, until I talk to you guys tomorrow, or I'm sorry, today's Friday, until I talk to you on Monday, I want you to get your money up, because you absolutely can do it. Thanks for hanging out with me. See you guys on Monday. Peace.